Dear finance professionals and students, welcome to podcast of Fca Deepak Rao, a practicing chartered accountant. Daily news and updates for 28th June 2020. The competition for leadership in the cement sector is expected to escalate following the Adani Group's announcement of ambitious expansion plans. Currently, however, the Kumar Mangalam Birla's group appears to have strengthened its position by acquiring a 23% stake in India Cements, thereby increasing its presence in the largest regional market in India, which boasts one of the highest per capita income. India is set to officially join the JP Morgan Global Bond Index Emerging Markets Global Series of indices on Friday, June 28th, a move that could potentially lead to $25 to $30 billion inflows into the country. It will happen in phases over a 10-month period, as the domestic bonds will hold 10% weightage and add 1% every month starting this month. This is a watershed moment for the fixed income markets in India, which will compulsorily put the domestic bond markets on the radar of global bond investors. The Securities and Exchange Board of India on Thursday eased the delisting framework to allow promoters a fair shot at taking their companies private. It also revised the eligibility criteria for inclusion and removal of stocks from the futures and options segment to ensure liquid stocks were traded in the segment. Tightening rules for finfluencers and those doling out stock advice, SEBI barred regulated entities and people from having any association with anyone providing direct or indirect recommendations or claiming guaranteed returns. However, SEBI allowed regulated entities to associate with finfluencers dealing in investor education and not providing any advice. The Securities and Exchange Board of India on Thursday eased the delisting framework to allow promoters a fair shot at taking their companies private. It also revised the eligibility criteria for inclusion and removal of stocks from the futures and options segment to ensure liquid stocks were traded in the segment. Tightening rules for finfluencers and those doling out stock advice, SEBI barred regulated entities and people from having any association with anyone providing direct or indirect recommendations or claiming guaranteed returns. However, SEBI allowed regulated entities to associate with finfluencers dealing in investor education and not providing any advice. In a relief for foreign firms giving loans to Indian subsidiaries, tax authorities have said goods and service tax will not be imposed on them, subject to some caveats. Additional fees, commissions, or related payments over and above the amount charged as interest on these loans will attract GST at 18%, the Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs said. The move is expected to end uncertainties on taxing loans or credits among group companies, a matter plaguing foreign entities. The Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs issued 16 crucial circulars dated 26 June 2024 under the goods and service tax regime, aimed at clarifying various aspects of the tax law and ensuring smoother compliance. SEBI has notified the SEBI Prohibition of Insider Trading Second Amendment Regulations 2024. As per the amended norms, the compliance officer must approve or reject the trading plan within 2 trading days of receiving it. Further, the compliance officer must notify the approved plan to the stock exchanges on which the securities are listed on the day of approval. These regulations are effective from 90th day of publication in the official gazette. This podcast is sponsored by Sound of CA. We share because we care. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.